I thought that I would have traveled way sooner in my life than I have now. I mean, I'm 30. If you think that it's not possible, young black child and white child and like coloreds too and Indians, all of you matter. Amandala, I don't know what Amandala is in your languages. I went to London, everybody! I've never been to London, but I've never been overseas as well. Gasp. Sometimes we take things for granted so much because social media has just made everything so accessible and so close. I know about things before I actually know experientially. It doesn't hit you as much as maybe it would have hit our parents, like even 15 years ago. It sounds corny, but I really had to like take it in.
You were just chilling and God just opened up these doors. All expenses paid. You did nothing to earn this.
Like, you can't tell me God doesn't love me. You can't tell me. You want to hear from the beginning?
What exactly was this London trip about?
I almost said I met the Queen, but like, no. You want to hear from the beginning?
What exactly was this London trip about?
I almost said I met the Queen, but like, no.
Because you are the Queen.
Listen, they met the Queen, darling. Quick backstory. I've never been to London, but I've never been overseas as well. Gasp. What? Right? London is the first non-African country I've been in. I thought that I would have traveled way sooner in my life than I have now. I mean, I'm 30 and like, if you think that it's not possible, young black child, okay, and white child, and like coloreds too, and Indians, all of you matter. Amandala, I don't know what Amandala is in your languages. So my friend won a competition. I almost cussed. My friend won a competition with Axe body spray. We both haven't been overseas. And it's a big thing, guys. I know there are people who don't, like, who've been well-traveled, like the Harmonies here. But like, it's a big thing for somebody like me who's always wanted to go overseas. And I never got to go, man. Darn it. But God. And then she calls me and she's like, yo, I won. I'm like, okay, sure. And then she's like, keeps insisting that like she won this competition. In fact, she was actually asking me like, when do I go on leave? And I was just like, well, I can't go on leave. I literally just started with this company right now. So like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, I guess I'm going to go to London by myself. And I was like, okay, bye. Okay, you fooling. Like, I'm not stupid. But I was stupid because she actually did win a freaking competition. And then she chose her best friend to go with. So yeah, she won the competition and we all pretty much got to go to London for about a week. And man, that was a stellar experience. Like, it was so epic. I was just such awe of like, just making it overseas. Like, the thing is, sometimes we take things for granted so much because social media has just made everything so accessible and so close. So when you meet someone from London, it doesn't hit you as much as maybe it would have hit our parents, like even 15 years ago, because everyone is just so easy to access. I know about things before I actually know it, experientially. So I had to just, it sounds corny, but I really had to like take it in. I remember, I think I once saw a post by Trevor Noah, he was in a basketball game, and then I think he was getting like a fist pump from like Jigga and Beyonce. And he made a post about it, but like the post wasn't just like, oh yeah, I got to, you know what I mean? For him, it was like, may I never take for granted how far-fetched this is or this was at some point, or even for somebody else. That like, whether you admire these people or not, but it's like, these are people who are globally admirable. And just because I'm here now, I can't just be like, oh, I'm cool about it or whatever. Like, I'm not cool about going to London. Like, I went to London. Like, that's huge. My parents, well, my dad and my mom actually have been overseas as well themselves. I'm lying. But like, there was a time where that was like unfathomable, you know? There was a time, there are many people actually who can't even think of going to Cape Town. And for me, that's just like a casual thing. But I never... In fact, when I went, my recent Cape Town trip, when I was on the plane, I prayed to God and I was like, may I never take for granted how cool it is to fly. We're in the air, guys. Like, that's, do you understand? Like, there's just certain things that you don't want to take for granted. And so that was my outlook when I was going to London. And maybe that's even why I was just crying about it all, or rather why everything, just being there was bigger than what it may have been. Yeah, I feel like I want to talk about my my film Another Day, London was just so awesome. I just want to give a brag on God just with that alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Amen.
yeah, man, like that man love me. The awe of God, or let me say being Christian, I don't know, but at least for me it's being Christian. Like, you really see God in every single detail. And I think that's why I don't want to take anything for granted. This is why I don't like the whole self-made thing or whatever. It's just like the idea that we've done everything in our own strength or at our own doing, I think is what makes us take for granted things like that, even the little things, right? Because we're like, yeah, I did this in my own strength, so then like I can do it again tomorrow, you know, whatever it is. But we don't take into consideration grace or luck, as some people would call it, or, you know, like we don't take into consideration those kind of things. And that shows you that like you are not here by yourself. You could work just as hard and as somebody else, but because of the things that are placed before you, it's like you guys will find yourselves in completely different outcomes, you know, and you can't negate the fact that grace plays a role in it.
And also, I think like just listening to your story, it's such a beautiful picture of how what God can do versus what you would do if you did it by yourself. You were literally just chilling. You had nothing to do with this. You had prayed at some point, like you had, you know, put it in God's hands. Hey, I want to travel. I want to do this. Yeah. You were just chilling.
Yeah.
Your friend just bought some deodorant.
Yeah,
and
literally.
Bam.
I didn't buy the deodorant. My friend bought the deodorant.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't even doing things for me.
You know what? Hey, you guys. First of all, you're putting best friend levels to this best friend thing. You know, I don't know what you're gonna do for her, but I'm just saying. But I'm saying that you were just chilling. And God just opened up these doors. Not only did you get there, but it was all expenses paid. You got to see London that a lot of people haven't seen. Because, you know, as much as that tour was fast, it still exposed you to a lot of London that people won't see.
It really, really did.
And had you done this London trip by yourself, do you know how much work you would have done and how much it would have cost for you to go to London, to stay in those hotels, to go onto those trips? The theater itself is no child's play.
No, and we had good seats.
Yeah.
Shout out Unilever and Sheena.
You know what I'm saying?
We had like really good seats. Like as I've been telling you earlier, that like the seat that I was gonna get was gonna be like £25, which is about 500 rand or 600 rand. And the seat that I actually got was £150, which is like 3,000 something, almost 4K. You know, like you can't tell me God doesn't love me. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
You know, it's crazy. Now she can literally, when she's frustrated, afford to say, "Oh my God, the world hates me."
But
because I've been to the world.
It's crazy. But it's literally just crazy that it wasn't from your own works.
Yeah.
You did nothing to earn this.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? It was just God's hand just showing up and being like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got you.
And it means more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The team that we were with, because like with the people that we were with even, because it was more than, so I think they had 3 winners, and then each winner could bring a friend or a partner or whatever. So everybody else brought their partner. Thank God my friend is single. Because God's timing is amazing.
I think he knew.
You know what I mean? He was like,
one more year.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
What was gonna happen.
Man, here I've been, and this entire year I've been trying to get her someone. That time, and God's like, stop it. She's like, no, I don't want a man. I don't want to. You know what? I'm gonna follow your lead from now on. You were listening to God. But yeah, like it was 2 couples and my friend and I, and then me and Mzi and his manager and everybody else from Unilever and Axe, and which were really awesome. And among our group, I don't think you guys understand, we all have different beliefs and religions and things like that, but like the topic of God came up so much. It felt like everything was just so God ordained. Like the group even kept on saying, yes, we kept on saying, oh my gosh, like we're so grateful for Unilever and Axe and all of that, which we really are. But like the fact that God just kept coming into the topic, like they kept on saying, guys, God put us together. We clicked from jump. Our conversations were like, we were just flowing so well, spiritual, philosophical, just basic. Like everything was just like a God moment. And I personally really felt the presence of God in like literally everything, you know?
Just putting it out there, Bahumi.
Yeah.
If one day you ever decide to enter a competition, you win.
I'm taking
here.
Lerato. I have to take Lerato. I have to take Lerato.
yeah.
Like I have
No,
to.
no,
like
no,
I
but-
want to, but I have to. Like I have to.
What if Lerato finds a partner?
What do you mean? Yeah?
What if Lerato finds a partner?
I'm getting happy. The problem is, what if I find out?
You don't want to come.
But
They actually said that.
look, if God can do that, then He can do a trip where it's like 6, 7 friends.
Hey,
Hey,
come
three,
on.
man. I'm
Come
speaking for
on.
myself.
No. I'm saying, why are you
What's
limiting
wrong
at
with
3,
you?
bro? Why are you limiting God? Look at
Don't
them all
limit God,
expensive.
bruh.
Or like if you want to
Why are you
limit God,
limiting
that's on you, bro. That's on you, right?
I love how we spin
Go
this,
back
spun
to
this
Mpumalanga.
around. I love how we spun this around.
You go back to
I
Mpumalanga, but you go back there.
It's all good. It's all good. I'll take my L.
Man.
You can do big things.
You know what's funny, dog? Like, just speaking on the limiting God thing. Like, I'm actually thinking about how, I mean, first I had high hopes for my first trip to wherever I go overseas. It was going to be this year. I knew it was going to be this year. I couldn't shake it. Other times it was a prayer. This year I prayed and I knew that it was going to happen. But like, even though like when I was like planning it or thinking about it or whatever, I knew, okay, I'm going to fly first class. I'm going to live in, go to, I want like the high level kind of experience, you know what I mean? And I want it to be like good and bougie. So God, like, make sure that like the funds are coming in, you know what I mean? Like I'm out here like working and like, okay, I'm going to be saving and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that like, and I really hope that I articulated the way that like, I feel it in my spirit. I thought that by the desires that I had, I wasn't limiting God. It's only coming to mind now, like as you're speaking. I still was limiting God because I was placing it in my own strength to experience those things, to experience that like 5-star. And I had the 5-star experience without like paying for it. You understand? Like I was working for it. I was like, okay, God, I want this, but I'm going to work for it. And God works like, when it's a God thing, oh my God. Hear me, I'm not even, because people have been, may assume that I'm saying, yeah, that doesn't mean that you don't put effort or whatever. No, but I think more specifically, it's that if it's God, even if it is applied, it's like, it's through His leading. I wasn't being led by God. I was being led by my own desires, how I thought it's going to work. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we, even if we say, okay, God, I'm like putting it in your hands or whatever, we actually take the full reins. Like we're actually like, yeah, no, I'm trusting you, but like, it's not really trusting you. I'm just kind of hoping that like it'll work out, and then, you know what I mean? But like it's when it's God, even if you put effort, it's like you can see how the effort that you put doesn't compare to maybe if somebody else would have put the same amount of effort without God. Does that make sense?
It does.
Like it's like there's still a spiritual flow to it. It's not all, yeah, like I applied this, I did this, I did that, I did that. There's a point where you get to where you're like, I did this, and then by the time I got, there was a thing. And I was like, there's no way I could have jumped without, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'd even say that like, even when I got to London, because they gave us money, which is really, really cool. But then now because of the job that I had, then I was able to pay for like extra stuff as well,
So
and I feel like that's
You had
yeah.
made provision knowing that this trip is coming.
I don't know.
Made a
that.
plan for you.
He did that.
Come on, somebody.
So
you better preach.
Hallelujah.
it was really cool. Wait, I have to show you guys my books. So theater production was like my huge takeaway, right? Huge takeaway. I'm a theater geek. I have actually always wanted to be in the theater, and it's only something that I looked into this year. And I can't wait to like, in fact, I'm even going to approach how I get into the theater space differently now. Not even just as a performer, but just as a creative director, because from what I've seen, I've never been inspired to create my own stories from the theater perspective, and now I really want to. So that's my huge takeaway for London. But still within the movie theme, like I said, all the other things in London were amazing, especially like the scenery and the architecture, absolutely stunning. But the reason why the last 2 days were my absolute fave was because, one, I went to the theater the second last day, and the last day, even though everybody was like doing their own thing and we're going to go to Madame Tussauds, I was like, I am not leaving London until I go to Notting Hill. Now, if you know, you know. So Notting Hill is, I don't know when the movie came out, but I think it's like 90s,
Not
early
the
2000s
football
at
club,
most.
gentlemen. The actual place. Not the football club, the actual place.
There's a football club called Notting Hill? Dang. See, our interests are so interesting. Like, I think of Notting Hill as something completely different. Excuse me. It's so funny because we actually had like a number of football fans on the thing, and they wanted to go see like all these stadiums. I think one of them did. And I couldn't, no offense, but I couldn't care less. And then I saw,
Chelsea fan.
I must be a Chelsea fan.
No, I'm saying it was probably a Chelsea fan that wanted to.
I don't know.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't know. I saw a post recently of like a person who was like, oh, women don't like, no. It was a woman. And I think she's driving a car. And then she has like a text overlay on the video. And then she says, when men think that women don't know anything about soccer, or football, or whatever. And then they show like all these pictures of these footballers. So then they show like Cristiano Ronaldo, and then I think they say something like green flag, and they show Messi and they're like red flag. So they'll be like we know things, we just don't know the things that y'all know, right? And then they show Mbappe. No, I can't say that one.
Ma'am, let's go back to Notting Hill. Let's get back to Notting Hill.
But the things that we know are not your things.
I'm not even trying to think none of that.
Anyways, so Notting Hill is one of my favorite movies, and it's funny because I actually only watched it recently, like in recent years. I didn't watch it like ages ago. But I was able to watch it with like a film eye, if I can call it that, because it's one of those old movies that are like really tough to watch if you are not like into movies. Anyways, I really, really loved it. It's just one of those like very cute rom-coms starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Grant.
Yeah, that's Grant.
Well, it's not American.
Sorry,
please.
Apologies.
Stop it in it. All right. So I went to Notting Hill, and I was just like super stoked to just be there alone, because I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm finding like the actual place. But then I got there. It's like when you come to South Africa, you don't want to buy something like
You want authentic. Let's say
you want authentic Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, you want something that was made by Umamom Zulu in KZN, you know, at her store, whatever, and she hand beaded that work. Okay, you want to get something that was like made by somebody else who claims to be. You get it. You
want to get something authentic.
Politically correct. I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah, indigenous
but you get what I mean. Indigenous to the region. And very few things were indigenous to the region in that place, because it's now become like a tourist destination. So obviously a lot of people are like trying to make sales or whatever. But I saw a couple of things, and I could have gotten a couple of things that were indigenous to the region. But like just to make sure that they were, in a sense, I was like, okay, let me go find, as per the movie, if you know, you know, the Notting Hill bookshop. It's a travel bookshop, I think it is in the movie at least. I'm not going to give away what's happening in the movie, but like the place itself, like that bookshop is like very, very important in the movie, so important to me. And so even if I go to the bookshop and I just get any basic book, I will have a personal story for myself, and I'll be able to say, hey, I got this at the Notting Hill bookshop. And so I went there, and of course it was a normal bookshop. It was very tough to find also, in a sense, because like they had like a fake version as well, because again, tourist destination. But I found the real one. I went to the real one where the movie was shot, and they sell books, just like basic books. But so I got like a couple of things there. But the reason why these books are so important, I'm not even saying, I'm pretty sure that even if I open them up, like it's just going to be like a basic book. I hope not. Spend lots of money. Yo, guys, pounds are a lot. But what's really, really cool about these books is that it's titled, literally, Blind Date with a Book. So I just love the novelty of it all. I just think that it's just like a very cool and cute story to tell. That like I went to Notting Hill, and I went to the Notting Hill bookshop, and I got a book that I know nothing about because I don't know what the title is. And it's very cryptic even in the description, right? So it's literally Blind Date with a Book. And I really wanted to open it up.
Such like, a cool concept.
It is,
Why
right?
didn't I think of that?
I think you can actually do it with like a number of things. Like if you think about, you know, and so all it essentially does is it shows you like the genre So this one says romantic comedy, which is actually something I'm interested in. And then science fiction, I just thought it would be fun to just take something I'm not interested in and see if it like surprises me. So that's what I got at Notting Hill. Basic. You may think I'm basic. I think I'm pretty cool. I think I'm like the coolest, corniest person ever. And now I have a story to tell as to where I got these books and like a whole thing about it.
It's not
Clap for
corny.
me.
It's something
Yeah?
special.
Yeah.
I really feel there are two aspects to traveling. One, I really think it's important to see like the tourist attractions, the different places, the cultural spaces and all of that. And then two, to make your memories.
Yeah.
You know, something that is special to you, something that is unique to you, and something that you're taking back, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, spiritual, a concept, an idea, a business idea, whatever. But it's always important to have a special something from the place where you went and bring it back home, like some kind of souvenir.
Actually, one of the people who we went with, he, I don't know if I should say his name because maybe it's a private thing that he does, but like he, whenever he goes places, and he's traveled like way more places in the world, for him, it's croissants. Literally, right? So everywhere he goes, he has to try a croissant. And like and it's because he's once tasted this one croissant. It's a really cool story. He tasted this one croissant and was like, I have to, you know. He just hasn't tried a croissant in Paris because I don't think he's been to Paris. So I think that that's like something that just things that you like, you know, that work for you. And it can be like your own special little thing. You don't have to like, you know, make it a whole thing on social media or whatever. So yeah, for me, it's whatever. Now that I think about it and now that I'm well-traveled because I've been to London, I think it's going to be anything movie-esque, anything film-esque. Maybe if I think of like a movie that was shot in that area, I'd want to go to that place and be like, is it just, you know, and then have my own experience of it. So
That's so profound.
yeah. What?
I used to have wine from the region, a bag, like a backpack.
Nice.
From the space.
Nice.
And then shoes. But the shoes one I stopped.
Why?
Well,
But you also have a lot of shoes, bro.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Also, you're like a size 80.
I mean, 11,
So
12.
it must be really tough. Bruh.
Yeah, but that's why it's so special, because it's like, you know, but then I also make sure that you immerse yourself in the culture. So understand what the tourists do, but also understand what the people who are there do.
Yeah.
You know, where do they go for lunch? Where do they go for dinner? What do they like to eat? What do they find as a, you know, because it opens up your mind and allows you to think beyond yourself and beyond where you are in life. It gives you like a bigger picture. And it also gives you, you know, we're clearly Christian, it gives you a perspective of God, that while you were on this side, God had created someone else on that side, living a totally, you know, either different, in certain aspects different, in some aspects same life as you. You know, still had to go to school, still had to think about life, still thinking about a partner, still, you know what I'm saying, thinking about a career. But it's just beautiful to have your mind just open and seeing different perspectives.
Yeah.
I can relate because, I mean, every time I've gone to the Eastern Cape, I always bring with me meat. Anyways, that's how we close, no?
I think we should have another completely different episode, by the way, because the idea of going to different places has made me appreciate my country a whole lot more.
Yes.
So I actually want to have an episode where we just like just gloating and like, what's the word I'm looking for? But just going crazy over South Africa. But yeah, that was my experience of London.
To London!
To London town.
Oi!
To the God that made it happen!
Woo!
And to Lerato, and to Axe, and to Robert Boy for being popular enough to have these trips. Bye! Mwah.